Hi there, my name's Simon Evans and I'm the executive chef here at Clearwater Bay Golf and Country Club. And today I will be cooking for you pork chop with sweet and sour peppers and cauliflower rice. We have two Japanese pork chops, cauliflower rice, salt and pepper. Then for the condiments we have peppers, onions, yellow tomatoes, balsamic vinegar, basil, some honey and some small basil leaf. Cut straight down through the middle, take out the peel, take out down the middle and take off the peel. Take off this excess skin. One. Don't worry about the pips, they're fine. You just tap them out. To cut the peppers, you push down and then slice through. For this dish, you need about 3 peppers. It'd be nice to do 1 red, 1 green, and 1 yellow. Also for this, I'm going to put some red onion. Again, lengthwise, and then slice them. So we add just a little bit of olive oil to the pan. And then we add our onions and peppers. Also earlier I sliced 1 red, 1 yellow, and also some more onion. We'll now begin to gently cook this down. So we have 2 Japanese pork chops. They were frozen, so we took them out 24 hours before and we just let them defrost naturally in the fridge. Before cooking, it's best to take them out and leave them out for about 5 to 10 minutes before you begin to cook. You need to have if it comes straight from the fridge and into a cold, hot pan, it will not cook through in the middle. So we're just gently going to put salt, season and then black pepper. This is the fine black pepper because you don't want the bits before I cook the pork chop. So what we're going to do, we're going to caramelize these. These will take about 3 to 4 minutes to cook down. To this now, I'm going to add some yellow cherry tomatoes. Just stir them around. And now I'm going to season it with some black pepper. Again, finely ground because I don't want to see the little bits in there. Now I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar, a nice glug. This is going to help sweeten them up. Also, I'm going to add some honey. Just give that a stir. Just going to add a large tablespoon of chicken stock. Just to help it with the juice, so when it reduces, it should all come together nicely. Okay, right now I'm going to cook the pork chop. Just a nice bit of olive oil into the pan. Don't want the pan smoking. Chop. Going to want to lay it down and away from you. Down and away from you. I'm just going to slightly shallow fry this. Just keep an eye on your onions as they reduce down. When you've started cooking on one side, just get the fat and push it over the pork. This is for them to help begin this cooking and also keeps it moist. So when you turn it over, you're not putting the meat cold onto a hot pan. This will also help to render the fat. Here what I'm doing now is I'm just rendering the fat on the bottom and cooking it so it's nice and crispy. But what you do is you do it one at a time so it doesn't fall back into your pan. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add fresh basil and butter into here, then they'll be ready. Once the pork chops are ready, just lift them off the pan, leave them for 2 seconds. I'm going to lift them to rest. You need to let them to rest at least 3 to 4 minutes. The reason you leave them to rest is so the juices will stay and then the pork will continue cooking all the way through. So now we're going to cook the cauliflower rice. So we've kept the juices from the pork because it has all the flavour. We're just going to open this up, put it into the pan, which is already warm. And then add a nice knob of butter. You add it off the stove so you don't burn it. Back onto the stove, and this is your cauliflower rice. Fat from the pork, so it will give it its flavour. So we're just going to season it with a little bit of black pepper. We won't need salt because we have the salt from the pork fat. Butter's beginning to melt. The cauliflower rice is now taking all the juices from the pan that was in the pork. Now we add our spring onion. Get it stirred. You can see the rice has changed colour slightly just from the pork fat. Okay, cauliflower rice is heated through. Now we're just going to place it into here and then get ready for plating. Okay, for the plating, we just put a nice spoonful of peppers. It's enough for 2 people. And do it like this. Try and stack it so it's nice and high. Just like that. Don't need to put all the peppers on, that's fine. With the same spoon, it's okay. Now the cauliflower rice. Okay, we can use all the cauliflower rice. And finally, the pork chop. Just set the pork chop in there. Then you can actually use some juices from the thing over the pork, and then I just have some fresh basil leaves because you had basil in the thing. So here we have our Japanese pork chop with cauliflower rice and sweet and sour peppers with tomatoes. The pork chop, the cauliflower rice, the peppers and the yellow cherry tomatoes can be found in the lounge next to Oasis, along with the balsamic vinegar and the butter. Thank you.